Hello, my name's Louise Ryan. I'm a dating expert and matchmaker and heartbreak coach. I'm here with Rena Cokayne, who is a holistic therapist. She's a couples and marriage counsellor, and we're chatting all about cheating, infidelity, being unfaithful, because we're fully in the midst of breakup season. Singles are out there looking for new love. Those in unhealthy and unhappy relationships are moving on. And so we just want to get to grips with something that's very topical and relative to some relationship breakdowns, and that's people going astray within a relationship. Maybe it's one person, maybe it's both. And so we just want to know, why do people cheat? And we just want to discuss it, look at the intricacies. And so, Rena, here we are. Nice to have you.
Hello, thank you for having us.
So let's talk about it. What do you think are the reasons that people go astray within a relationship?
Where do I start? I mean, this is so varied. There's so many different reasons why people cheat. Obviously one being they're not happy. There's obviously some sort of lack in their relationship, I believe, whether it be lack of communication, lack of intimacy, lack of just us time. A lot of things as well, when you have children and things like that, that puts on a strain in a relationship. So I think it all depends really on their situation. But I think the main reason is a lack of communication. Being the first and foremost, because obviously if you had communication within a relationship and there was an issue, then you'd be able to talk about it as what it should be, the way that you should do it. Unfortunately, that's not how we work as human beings. We all have our issues with expression and talking about personal feelings or something that upsets us. So there's loads of different reasons, but for me personally, especially my own personal experience, it was lack of communication.
So when you say communication, do you think it comes down to communicating what you need in terms of intimacy? Is it all about being between the sheets and not being able to communicate that? Or is it something deeper? Is it a communication breakdown that comes to emotional needs, or is it growth and growing apart? What do you think?
It's all of those. It's a lack of communication and just saying how you feel, not being able to go to your partner, whichever way round it is, gender-wise, and saying, look, I feel that you're not giving me enough time, whether it's us time or I don't like the way that you do this. They just can't communicate.
Right. And other than communication, do you think it comes down to anything else? Like, for example, obviously there's different types of affairs, which I'm looking forward to delving into, because people do think that, affairs are just physical and they're just about sex and fulfilling those intimacy needs there. But obviously, of course, people can cheat on an emotional level, which obviously is it's interesting for us to delve into to create a greater awareness. But also, do you believe that cheating can be a learnt behaviour? Do you think it's something that an individual has seen people doing and thought, well, that's okay? Is it a matter of just getting away with it, or what do you think? Is it greed, wanting more than your relationship can provide?
Yes, I was going to say, you get, again, varied answers. You get some people that are out there that they just like the thrill of the excitement of cheating. And I call them people like serial cheaters. They just cheat because they can. Or they cheat because they are with someone and their partner knows that they're cheating and they just put up with it for whatever reason, I don't know. But everyone's got their own reasons for what they do. But when people cheat, it's like, from when I've done some research on it and stuff, and I've spoken to people and friends and stuff who have cheated, and they just loved the thrill. Their relationship had lacked, stimulation, intimacy, fun, which I think is very important in a relationship, and communication. And they just go and look for it elsewhere rather than dealing with the issues at hand and working on your own relationship to make it better, or to get it to or conditioning your relationship in a positive way to how it should be. If you want something from your partner, you should be able, whether it be on a intimate level or just more of their time or intimacy, whatever it is, you should be able to go to your partner and say, look, I'm not happy with XYZ, you know, we need to sort this out, and you address it. And that's what relationships about. It's all about commitment and, you know, meeting in the middle somewhere and where you're both happy.
And I also think, like, there's so many things that you've touched on there which really interest me. And of course, I delve into research every day, like meeting singles and those who have been through a breakup and looking to start again. So there's a couple of things that I want to touch on. Like you said, you know, it's the thrill of it, and that's because we're looking for constant stimulation, and the fact that our attention spans have become lower than that of goldfish, and I do think technology and constant marketing and overstimulation of the senses, it creates like a divide between our human connection too. And so even though we might think we're in a happy relationship, somehow there is this modern day problem where we always want more. If it's broke, replace it or get something extra, rather than it's broken, it's breaking, let's fix it, let's work on it, let's work together. So that I totally agree with. I totally agree with it. And somebody once said to me, in fact, an ex-partner of mine, do you think that one person can provide all that you need in terms of happiness? And of course, like I always said, you know, happiness is like a cake, and you take all of those slices from all those people around you, and you're, you know, at the center. You've got most of those slices. You've got to be happy first. And of course, I don't think that somebody can provide you that whole cake of happiness if it's relatable. That's the way I see it and the way I think about relationships and gaining happiness. And so, do you think it's that we're putting too much weight on getting happiness from our partner because we've made a commitment to them in a way?
I think that what you said was quite valid, to be fair. I think that one person can provide you with everything that you need in a relationship.
Right.
Oh, I think we've got a miscommunication here. Can you hear me?
I've got you.
Oh, right, brilliant. Sorry. Yeah, I do believe that you can get everything that you need from the one partner. It's just you've both got to make that choice. It's all about choices. If you want to make your relationship work, you will make it work. It's never easy. I've been with my partner 11 years, well, coming up to 11 years now. We've been to hell and back. We've split up. We've got back together. But you know what? We've come through the other side, and we're so much stronger. We've even had people try and put lies on our relationship and say about cheating and stuff. It really got really deep and quite... I thought my relationship was over, but you know, we've worked through it. And if you want something that bad, you will do whatever it takes to make it work. And that's where me and my husband, he's not my husband, like I said earlier, but we've been together 11 years. So we call each other husband and wife. If we, you know, we both want it to work, but you've got to be singing from the same hymn sheet. It's never going to work if one of you want it and one of you don't. It's just never going to work. And that's just life in general.
I totally agree. It's that whole, who was it that said, we fall in love by chance, but we stay in love by choice? And I totally agree with that. Because, like, you know, those first couple of years where, you know, our biology is made up to feel chemically just so magnetized towards that human that you have decided to commit to. But then, of course, like, our body, you know, gets used to that feeling, those chemical reactions and the serotonin levels and all the endorphins that are rushing around, and so it can almost feel like the honeymoon period is over. But I truly believe that when you've got like you were saying in your relationship, like where there's a lot of ups and downs, I think it's about this conflict and resolution and how you deepen your connection through solving those problems together. Because we live in this world today where relationships and searching for your soulmate is completely, you know, it's put on a pedestal, and we're constantly on the search for perfection. And I suppose for me, in my mind, it's accepting that no person is perfect and no relationship is perfect, but you make a choice to work through something, and it's kind of fight or flight. And I think if you're unfaithful, you're choosing to reach a deeper connection with somebody else outside of your relationship to get those missing pieces. And for me, cheating while, if you're in a long-term relationship and you want to work through it, absolutely you should. It's that conflict resolution. Why did you cheat? What was the reason? What was the cause? And working through them together, rather than, you were unfaithful, now this relationship has come to an end. What are your thoughts on the matter about, fight or flight for your relationship?
Oh, definitely. Going back to my personal relationship currently, when we first got together, me and my partner Aaron, his name is, we have this discussion all the time, and we've been having this since the beginning of our relationship. So he used to say to me, "What, if you found that I cheated," and I used to say the same back to him as well. What would you do? And instantly, I think how old I was, 11 years. So I was 25, 26 or something then. So I was 26 and he was 23. And both of us would be like, nope, I would not accept it. We'd finish the relationship. And none of us, if I look fast forward now to 11 years later, it's a completely different answer. What we say now is we want to understand why it happened. Because I think understanding is important. Because if you don't understand something, how can you fix it? Or how can you even fix yourself, to be honest? So we wanted to know now why did you cheat? What were the reasons behind it? And necessarily, if it was just a one-off thing, then, what would you want to throw away 11 years for that one mistake and throw away all of your hard work and effort that you've put in just for one mistake? But then again, that boils down to communication, because if there was some lack again in the relationship, then you should be able to say, okay, and go to your partner and prevent any form of cheating from happening in the beginning. So again, it always boils down to that strong foundations and communication.
And would it be fair to say that while cheating, of course, it's not acceptable, but you and I really want to get to grips with why people cheat and what the cause is that creates such negative effects. But I do think that, how couples overcome such barriers in their relationship can really deepen a connection, or at least if it doesn't deepen a connection and the relationship is a no-goer from there, it's understanding oneself and also what triggers and what things they need to learn and develop and grow from within themselves, and what is not compatible with them in a relationship. I suppose it's the learnings that you take about yourself from infidelity, and I suppose what you're willing to put up with. If it's not you that was cheating, but it was your partner who cheated on you, I suppose it's understanding yourself deeper and what you're willing to accept and how you're willing to work on it. I think that's really interesting. What do you think? I'm back with Rena Cokayne, and we have just been talking about cheating, infidelity, being unfaithful, and all of the reasons why one person or both might do that in a relationship. We just want to talk and touch on emotional affairs and how or if they are worse than physical affairs. So back over to you, Rena. What are your thoughts on the matter?
Hi. Right, my views are emotional affairs. For me, this is a personal view. How do I explain it? For me, that's the worst kind of an affair. If it's a physical thing, then there's obviously lack of intimacy in the relationship, or the person who's cheating is maybe a little bit greedy. So for me, an emotional affair would be more heartbreaking, really, because you've got that emotional attachment to someone, haven't you? Whereas a physical thing, it is just sex. From my experience, that I've spoke to people about it. But me, I would rather have someone. If someone was going to cheat on me, I'd rather them have physical, not affair. I wouldn't a physical affair than an emotional one.
Right, and why is that? What do you think? What are the reasons?
Because when you get emotionally attached, it's because you it's like you're starting a relationship all over again, isn't it? So there's a possibility of, that your relationship with that person completely ending or fading out. And loads of different things happen in an emotional affair. Kids come out of it, love, feelings, it's heartbreaking in itself, any type of affair, but the physical side, you can maybe just look at it and think, okay, if there's a lack of intimacy in our relationship, then I understand why that person went out there and had a physical affair or a physical one-night stand or cheated, So the emotional side of it for me is where things can really get sticky and messy and possibly end a relationship.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it would be fair to say that an emotional affair is building something deeper and greater than a flippant, perhaps, one night stand. There's a lot of energy and time and connection and sharing of feelings, personal, professional, that goes into an emotional affair. It's literally like having another relationship aside from the one that you're already in. And the thing is about physical affairs, they can be swept under the rug if a couple chooses to forgive and forget and to work on their communication issues and relationship issues. But an emotional affair is an attachment, isn't it? It's developing something deeper.
Definitely.
Have you ever experienced any of the two in your time, or friends? Do you know of anything that you feel like in your personal life you can share? Obviously not professionally, but do you have any relevance to it?
I do indeed, yes. I know people that have cheated as well, and myself being one of them. It's not something that I stand proud and say, oh, I cheated. However, from a negative situation, had a positive outcome because I'm still with my partner today, and that's 11 years later. I was in a relationship that was, how can I explain it, that was a bit controlling. 7 years, we had a child out of that relationship. And so for the first 3 years, everything was really, really good. Really good. And I don't know what happened, really, to be honest. I think the reasons for me getting into that relationship was not being true to myself. I think I was trying to prove a lot to other people who doubted me and had expectations of me. So I kind of found the relationship with this guy who basically gave me everything, really. He was a good guy and, he was a decent man. And then I kind of realised that after a while he would become a little bit controlling, so he didn't want me to work and stuff like that. And I didn't actually see it happening at the time, but, looking back into it now, the signs was there, telling me what to wear. Or he used to go out and buy my clothes, what he would want me to wear. And then obviously I'd just wear them. No one would think anything of it, would you? Oh, no, that's, my partner's buying me some clothes, lovely, you just wear them. But it was all the time. So you look back now, that is a sign of control. He was buying what he wanted me to wear, not what I liked. Does that make sense? So the difference is... Oh, sorry.
So you would say that you were in... would it be fair to say that you were in seemingly an unhealthy relationship where you were under someone else's control, and from what I can gather, it was a relationship that you felt you had to be in because of peer pressure, expectations from those around you, and I suppose your child. So you were unfaithful, but where has that led to now?
Oh, I'm still with my partner now, 11 years on. So it's, for me, as much as I didn't, it wasn't a nice experience to go through, and I would never do that to anyone again because it's not nice. But I had to get out of that relationship, and I wanted to get out of that relationship, but I was scared to. And then I found, or met, should I say, my partner now, who it wasn't instant. We become friends first, and it's like he gave me all the stuff that I'd lost in myself, just happiness and fun. Those are two very important, as well as other things, in a relationship for me. Be able to laugh and have fun with your partner.
They're your values.
Yes. That is what I lacked in the previous relationship, and it would be a case of, he'd just come in from work. We didn't even talk. It was that bad. We was just together for the kids. That's what it was. That's how it ended up. And none of us was happy. But I've met my current partner partner now through a mutual friend of mine, and I used to see him every time I went down there. And it took a little while for it to build up, but we become friends. And certain people would say you've got that spark back in your eye, and that was just from being in his presence. And we just instantly had, I never used to believe it like love at first sight, and I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but I do believe in that because that's exactly what happened. With us, we just, I don't know, our energies just connected on a different level straight away, and we both know it. If he was here now, he would say exactly the same thing. So, and we're together, and we've got a beautiful little daughter who's 7, and out of this relationship now, if I didn't do that or go through that process, I might not have met him. Does that make sense? Or I might still have been in that relationship where I was unhappy, and I would hate to think what I'd even look like, let alone be like.
Well, it sounds to me like you were in both kinds of affairs with the same person. You were in an emotional affair where you were creating a really deep attachment to somebody, and something that turned physical for sure. And it actually, not that we're in any way condoning, being unfaithful and infidelity, but in your case, it actually, you found a silver lining because you found your person. And one thing that I always say is that it's not really the lack of love that brings the relationship breakdowns, because you can still have deep care and deep love for somebody that you're not meant to be with, or perhaps are going through some, horrendous times within your relationship. But I think it's a lack of friendship. Like when you forget that you're in a relationship and your companion is your best friend, and it's the person that you're supposed to share everything with in terms of communication, when you forget that you're with your friend, this person's your friend, when you put aside resent and all of the reasons that are unhealthy that can lead one to go astray, just remember that you've got this friendship, and communicate with them can create a deeper relationship and communication. It's the whole conflict resolution, and how are we going to overcome this together as a team, as a dream team. So it actually sounds like you found a wonderful life, but nothing's perfect, of course, off the back of a controlling and unhealthy relationship that led you to go astray. And it happens to so many people. So actually, I think this has been wonderful. We've taken so many learnings. What do you think, Rena?
Yeah, I just want to add as well, because I think it's important that I add this. Like what you said, I'm not condoning cheating at all, and I wouldn't do it again, because it's not something come about. It just happens. You don't choose who you fall in love with. But and also, my ex-partner is also now happily married with another child. So I think it's important to get that in as well, because we were both unhappy, and we are now both happy. And he's, like I said, he's married with another child. So out of that negative situation has come a positive. Of course, there was the heartache and all the cries and the tears and that in between that. And we get on now. We're fine. We do get on. So it's win-win all round.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make that point.
So on the back of heartbreak season, breakup season, we've been talking cheating, infidelity, being unfaithful, and unhealthy relationships. And so, this has been great to delve a little bit deeper into the reasons why people go astray. So thanks so much, Rena.
No problem. It's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.